evening guys, this is Naresh, your host from Autocars India, bringing you last Grand Prix of 2017 season, live commentary on Autocars India, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, race number 20th, 2017 season. What a season we had till now in 19 races. A truly absorbing season where Lewis Hamilton has been crowned the Driver Championship of the year, and Mercedes wrapped up the championship also in Mexico. Here we are. It's a Grand Prix for the pride, for many of the drivers who have to prove that yes, they are worth their medal in Formula One. I am Naresh, your host for Autocars India, bringing you live commentary for this last Grand Prix. Last year around this Grand Prix, Nico Rosberg was the one who was crowned as driver champion. And this year around, we are all geared up to see the final Grand Prix where drivers are fighting for their pride. Be it Bottas, who wants to reinstate his position in Formula One, saying that yes, he is worth the driver to be looking into for Mercedes, who has signed him next year around. Lewis Hamilton, obviously the world champion, he has not won the last race. Last race had been won by Sebastian Vettel, and he would like to cash in this effect. Sebastian Vettel winning the last Grand Prix, and he's going to start today P2 once again. Valtteri Bottas on the pole. He would like to win this battle here. Just to go with the grid position, Valtteri Bottas starts pole, Sebastian Vettel alongside him. On the third position, in fact, Lewis Hamilton is the one who will start second alongside Valtteri Bottas. Sebastian Vettel third. Second row start for Daniel Ricciardo alongside Sebastian Vettel, pipped into Ferrari and Red Bulls. Kimi Räikkönen 5th place, Max Verstappen 6th, Nico Hülkenberg starts 7th for Force India, 8th Sergio Perez for Force India. Esteban Ocon, other Force India, starts 9th. Felipe Massa starts 10th on the grid. Fernando Alonso starts 11th, a strong show by McLaren. Carlos Sainz Jr. starts 12th, 13th Stoffel Van Dorn of McLaren. Kevin Magnussen starts 14th on the grid. Lance Stroll of Williams starts 15th. Roman Grosjean starts 16th. Pierre Gasly, Toro Rosso starts 17th. Pascal Wehrlein starts 18th and 19th. Marcus Ericsson from Saubers. Last, Brendan Hartley with 10 places grid penalty starts last on the grid. A truly absorbing season what we had this year. As the national anthem goes on for UAE, all drivers are now gathered in front of the grid, and it's a time for national anthem for them. Ricciardo and Räikkönen will be locked in for a battle for 5th in the championship, as both of them also starts 4th and 5th respectively. We will be watching this very carefully. This action is brought to you live by Autocars India. Your host Naresh with you, bringing you last Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi Grand Prix of 2017 season. Just to give you heads up of this track, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is a regular feature since 2009, where the first Grand Prix at Yas Marina circuit was held. Number of laps 55 with 21 corners on the track, 2 DRS activation zone and a very long straight which is almost a kilometer here, one of the longest straights in Formula 1 season. Circuit length 5.554 kilometers, race distance 305.355 kilometers. Lap record sits with Sebastian Vettel 1 minute 40.279, set in way back in 2009. To summarize, the drivers: Lewis Hamilton for Mercedes has won the driver championship and he has 345 points before this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel second, 302 points. Valtteri Bottas 280 points, clear of Daniel Ricciardo in fourth position with 200 points. Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo will be fighting for fourth and fifth position as they are having separated by only 7 points here. Max Verstappen 158 points for Red Bull Racing. Sergio Perez of Force India with 94. Esteban Ocon 83 points for another Force India. Carlos Sainz 54 points for Renault. He's switched Renault from Toro Rosso car few races back as a deal, engine swapping between McLaren and Toro Rosso. Felipe Massa in 10th position with 42 points. Also, Felipe Massa will be bidding goodbye to Formula 1 and this is the last Grand Prix for Felipe Massa career, a very long career. Lance Stroll in Williams, other Williams 40 points. In 11th position, Nico Hülkenberg of Renault 35 points. 12th position, 13th position, Haas car, Roman Grosjean 28 points. Kevin Magnussen 19 points. Haas 14th position, Fernando Alonso 15th position with 15 points. Stoffel Van Dorn 16th position with 13 points for both the McLaren. Renault driver Jolyon Palmer did not participate. He's also been not given any seat in Formula 1, is in 17th position, 8 points. Sauber Ferrari, Pascal Wehrlein could gather only 5 points. Toro Rosso, Daniel Kvyat 5 points, also out of Formula 1, with no other drivers scoring points. In terms of teams, how the teams stack up in 2017 season. Mercedes, having won the Constructor Championship, is leading with 625 points. Ferrari 495 points. And again, there is a bit of gap between second and third position. Red Bull clear 358 points. Force India Mercedes, fourth, very strong Force India. With a limited budget, they are able to manage with their good driving experience from their drivers. 117 points, 77 points. Williams 82 points, Toro Rosso 53, Renault 49, Haas 47, McLaren 28. Bit of battle between Toro Rosso, Renault and Haas for 6th, 7th and 8th position. It will be interesting to see. Sauber managed to get 5 points in the season. This time around, Felipe Massa again has his son with him on the grid for bidding goodbye. As we are just minutes away from the start of yet another fascinating race and the last race of the season. Final showdown of Formula 1 World Championship 2017. As I take along your host, Autocars India. Abu Dhabi, round 20 at Yas Marina circuit. 55 laps race with 21 corners, elevation change of 10.7 meters, 2 DRS zones available, lap record with Vettel set during Red Bull Racing timings. We are all set for a fascinating race at Yas Marina circuit. Welcome everybody around the world, Formula One fans, for this live commentary of Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Bit of fight will go on between Renault, Haas, Ferrari and Williams for 6th position in the championship. A packed grandstands, setting sun and a special buzz. What a way to end 2017. Valtteri Bottas starts pole, Lewis Hamilton alongside him 2nd position, Sebastian Vettel 3rd, Ferrari, Red Bull Daniel Ricciardo starts 4th, 5th position Kimi Räikkönen, Max Verstappen starts 6th, Nico Hülkenberg in Renault starts 7th, Sergio Perez starts 8th in Force India, 9th Esteban Ocon, Force India, Felipe Massa last Grand Prix of his career start 10th, 11th Fernando Alonso, 12th Carlos Sainz, both Spaniards starting 12th, 13th Stoffel Vandoorne for McLaren starts 13th, alongside with him is Kevin Magnussen starts 14th, 15th Lance Stroll, Williams starts 15th, Roman Grosjean Haas starts 16th, 17th Pierre Gasly, Toro Rosso, alongside him Pascal Wehrlein, Sauber starts 18th, 19th position Marcus Ericsson, and last on the grid, Brendan Hartley with 10th place grid penalty starts last on the grid. It is roughly 400 meters from the pole to apex of turn number 1. Can Bottas hang on and protect his lead? Can Vettel or Ricciardo get amongst the Mercedes? Who will get the jump in? The fight between Renault, Force India, McLaren and Williams. Lot of questions to be answered, and we are not much time away from answering, or rather seeing those answers coming across in front of us. A fascinating end of 2017 season is finally ready to begin here. Final showdown of the season is as the tire walls, tire blankets come out from the car tires. All the cars are ready on the grid to make the formation lap. Sun sets in. All top 10 drivers starting on ultra soft pink sidewall tires. Super soft tires are only being used by last 3 drivers on the grid. So pretty straightforward. All the drivers are starting on super soft tires, and here we go. Formation lap starts. Everybody seems to be getting off from the grid safely. A slow start for Brendan Hartley last on the grid, as Sebastian Vettel muscles his car to get as much of temperature as possible for the start. Please do remember to like and subscribe my channel by hitting the right bottom corner of your screens, the subscribe button. This is the last Grand Prix of the season and I'm all set to get this moment by moment showdown which is happening at Yas Marina circuit at Abu Dhabi. Your host, Naresh, Auto Cars India. All the guys welcome around the globe for the last Grand Prix of 2017 season. As the cars go around the track to complete the formation lap. There is a total of $7 million gap which will come with for the position 6 as Haas, Toro Rosso and Renault are fighting for that position. Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton are the only successful drivers here with 3 apiece wins here. Kimi Raikkonen had 1. As everybody prepares for the final getaway on the circuit, we are all set for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to get underway. Valtteri Bottas, the first driver to get stationary on the grid. Lewis Hamilton also gets on. All the cars are following, getting as much of temperatures as possible in their tires. 400 meters away from the start finish line, the first corner comes. Let's see whether we have a clean start or we have a mess up start here, where prides are on stake as the cars get ready. The last car on the grid, Brendan Hartley, comes stationary and we have green flag flowing across. Wait the red lights to go off. 2017, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights come on and they go off, and we have Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A good start from Valtteri Bottas. He keeps it clean and clear from Lewis Hamilton. Bit of lockup from Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo also all get cleanly clear of the track on the first corner. Everybody clear. No damage whatsoever, and there is a problem with Haas car. One of the Haas car had a spin. It doesn't seem to be he has collided with somebody, but definitely one of the Haas car is in trouble. As Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen tries to come across, come close to the Fernando Alonso is also lining up on the Force India car. And here, Nico Hülkenberg comes close to the Force India car. Fernando Alonso also comes to try to come on the side of the car of Force India. One of the Haas car going all over and the back. And here, Max Verstappen tries to come across. And yes, Daniel Ricciardo has overtaken actually. Kimi Raikkonen behind Daniel Ricciardo. Max Verstappen is just behind him. Sebastian Vettel is clear in 3rd position. Daniel Ricciardo in 4th. Kimi Raikkonen in 5th position. Bit of a clean start for all the drivers here. as we are into the second lap of the race. Valtteri Bottas leading with 1.5 seconds from Lewis Hamilton in second position, Sebastian Vettel in third position, Kimi Räikkönen in fifth position behind Daniel Ricciardo, who is in fourth position. Valtteri Bottas set up the fastest lap of the race. Fernando Alonso in 11th position behind Felipe Massa. Both the Force India in 8th and 9th position behind Nico Hülkenberg of Renault. DRS is now enabled. As Perez is insisting Hülkenberg to give back the position as he feels he has been passed off track. As Carlos Sainz also gets behind Fernando Alonso. Hülkenberg is under investigation, leaving the track and gaining advantage on Sergio Perez. Perez is being advised by his team to just keep calm. It has been noted by the stewards. Let's see if Hülkenberg has to give back position. It'll be interesting. Max Verstappen in 6th position in the meanwhile, getting his car lined up behind Kimi Räikkönen, who is in turn behind Daniel Ricciardo. If the team games needs to play on, Daniel Ricciardo can bit slow up the race, and Daniel Ricciardo can allow Max Verstappen to catch up Kimi Räikkönen in Ferrari. As we go to lap 4 of 55 of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the last Grand Prix of the season. There is 5-second time penalty has been given to Nico Hülkenberg, leaving the track and gaining advantage over Sergio Perez. So he has to serve the penalty. Next time around he comes to the pits. As we go to, and there was a bit of spin also which happened for Haas car, and he lost out in this battle. Nico Hülkenberg has been confirmed 5-second time penalty which has been given, and he has to serve the same when he comes next time around in the pits. Kevin Magnussen, who had the spin at the start, is back of the grid. With Fernando Alonso, he's fighting the battle with Carlos Sainz of Renault. He's behind, has some distance behind Felipe Massa, but not too far, as Lance Stroll also lines up behind Carlos Sainz. Felipe Massa definitely turning out to be a slow car. Lewis Hamilton in the meantime sets the fastest lap. In the meantime, Valtteri Bottas sets up the fastest lap of the race and lap 6 now. He's having a decent gap of 1.4 seconds between him and the Lewis Hamilton. In second position, Vettel has further 2-second gap. Then Ricciardo, 2-second gap. So evenly spread out top 5 cars. Max Verstappen is just on the tail of Kimi Räikkönen. With Nico Hülkenberg further 3.5 seconds down on Max Verstappen. Fernando Alonso is behind Felipe Massa as Lance Stroll overtakes Haas car to take 13th position. Fernando Alonso lines up his car behind Felipe Massa. Grosjean overtakes Lance Stroll in the first DRS zone, and Lance Stroll takes a position back in the second DRS zone. Stroll is in 13th position as of now. As we go to lap 6, Valtteri Bottas comfortably leads Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Alonso and Sainz are ever closer now, with just 0.8 of a second behind Fernando Alonso. Alonso is also chasing Felipe Massa. Fight for 10th position is on. This time around, Grosjean once again just behind the tail of Lance Stroll, doesn't manage to get enough time to pass Lance Stroll. Lap 8 of 55, Bottas comfortably leads and controls the pace of the race. Hamilton in second position with 1.7 second gap. Further down, Vettel, Ricciardo, Räikkönen, Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Perez, Ocon, and Alonso, along with Felipe Massa, completes the top 10. Battle for 10th is on between Alonso, Massa, and Carlos Sainz. It will be interesting to see how the 5-second penalty will shape up for Nico Hülkenberg once he comes in the pits for his regular tyre change, which he got while overtaking and cutting the corner while he overtook Sergio Perez. as Raikkonen gets himself out of the... In the meantime, battle between Stroll and Grosjean is going on and on. This lap also Grosjean tried to overtake Lance Stroll and he's side by side now. Doesn't manage to stick his move. Very nice battle going on between Roman Grosjean of Haas and Lance Stroll for 13th position. Ricciardo is in 4th position, in chase by Kimi Raikkonen, and this time around Roman Grosjean again brings the cars alongside Lance Stroll and manages to stick the move. But Lance Stroll, once again, the beauty of this circuit is you have one DRS zone and you give the DRS to other guy in the very next corner. He gets back to position, Lance Stroll, this time again. Battle for 13 is nicely poised. Roman Grosjean once again behind Lance Stroll. Evenly matched Haas and Williams cars here. In the meantime, Kimi Raikkonen still comfortably, I would not say comfortably, but at least ahead of Max Verstappen, who is out of the DRS zone as of now. This time around, once again Roman Grosjean this time lines up the car, bit of lockup for Bottas, had wheel-to-wheel racing and he has got the position in this time around, but next DRS zone, will Lance Stroll be able to overtake? Let's see. Yes, he brings the car alongside. Again he overtakes, but this time he has bit of a, and Haas is able to stick the move. He's been able to stick the move this time around as Valtteri Bottas sets up the fastest lap. Haas, Kevin Magnussen, Roman Grosjean, manages to take the position from Lance Stroll, who had the locker, and he's not able to contain his position. So loses the 13th position to Haas car. What a move this time around, and commitment by Roman Grosjean, wheel-to-wheel racing by both the drivers, and comes out clean. And straight away Lance Stroll dives into the pit. He feels time to come to the pits as he's not feeling comfortable with his car, as he was complaining to his engineers also and getting some change of setups. But finally he comes back and red sidewall tire, intermediate tire goes on the car. Alonso still chasing Felipe Massa, who is having the last Grand Prix of his career. This is lap 12 of 55. As we go to lap 12, Valtteri Bottas controls the pace of this race. In the front, Lewis Hamilton behind him. Maximum number of Grand Prix are being done by Rubens Barrichello, also the Brazilian Michael Schumacher, second position along with Jenson Button. Both the drivers have equal number of Grand Prix. Then Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen and Felipe Massa, who is one short of Kimi Raikkonen. Felipe Massa, this will be his 270th Grand Prix. As Stoffel Vandoorne comes in the pits for a change of tyre. As Fernando Alonso is giving all his heart out to be behind Felipe Massa. It's like Brazilian Grand Prix last time around 2 weeks back. He spent whole of his race looking at the gearbox of Felipe Massa car, and similar thing is happening here also. But good thing is he's out of the DRS zone from Carlos Sainz, who's behind him in Renault. It'll be a story to be told by Felipe Massa if he can hold off Fernando Alonso behind him, as he did in Brazilian Grand Prix last race around. He's just 7/10 of a second behind Felipe Massa. Fernando Alonso, battle for 10th. Fernando Alonso is a driver who never gives up. One of the best drivers on the grid. True racer. As he chases Felipe Massa. And this time around, Felipe Massa finds himself Alonso very close to him. And Alonso will get the DRS zone, DRS available for his car, and he uses the DRS. He's inching closer to Felipe Massa. But definitely Honda power is not so much in the straight, and he loses whatever he gains in the DRS zones. In the meantime, Red Bull is getting ready for the pit stop. Let's see who will be the first one. Max Verstappen. Ricciardo is staying out on the track. Verstappen in the pits. Red sidewall tires. Clean pit stop. Comes out of the pits. Under the tunnel. On the track. Max Verstappen. Unique feature of Abu Dhabi. Pit lane exit is in the tunnel and comes out on the track. Valtteri Bottas has pulled a lead of 2.5 seconds from the Lewis Hamilton in the second position, as Fernando Alonso now finds Carlos Sainz right behind him. As Pierre Gasly in Red Bull had a spin. Carlos Sainz now coming within 1 second of Fernando Alonso and getting the DRS zone anytime around. That'll be interesting battle to see between Massa, Alonso and Carlos Sainz for the 10th position, as Nico Hülkenberg behind Roman Grosjean should be overtaking him, along with Force India Sergio Perez. He's ahead of Sergio Perez. In the meantime, Valtteri Bottas sets up the fastest lap of the race, and Daniel Ricciardo comes to the pits. Has a regular change of tires, a bit of longer pit stop, red tire wall, red sidewall tire goes on the Daniel Ricciardo's car. There was a slight of held up which happened on Daniel Ricciardo's car. It should not affect much his position. As Grosjean overtakes Nico Hülkenberg in the DRS zone. Hülkenberg is going to line up his car for the next DRS zone and get opportunity. For some reason, Hülkenberg doesn't seem to be comfortable in his car after the first pit stop. Time around, Nico Hülkenberg gets his position back. Vettel is in pits now for Ferrari. Clean pit stop for Sebastian Vettel. Roman Grosjean is trying every bit to keep his car in front, but he doesn't manage to do that. And now Sergio Perez is behind Roman Grosjean for the next overtaking maneuver. There was a bit of movement for Daniel Ricciardo. He hit the wall. Bit of wing work has come out from Daniel Ricciardo's car in this process, and here we go. Daniel Ricciardo has a problem. He's coming off the track, and game over for Daniel Ricciardo. What a shame for Red Bull. Another DNF for Red Bull. as Valtteri Bottas comes in the pits with yellow flag in sector 2 waving due to Daniel Ricciardo car. Bottas takes this opportunity to come in the pits as Lewis Hamilton sets up the fastest lap of the race. Alonso is in the pits this time around. As we go to lap 23 of 55, now Massa comes to the pits. Fernando Alonso has completed his pit stop. Let's see whether Fernando Alonso can jump position for Felipe Massa. It'll be interesting to see. Massa is in the pit lane now. He's coming out of the tunnel. And Fernando Alonso, let's see where is he in terms of position in comparison with Felipe Massa. He comes out in front, just in front. Fernando Alonso gets his car side by side. Massa able to remain in front of Fernando Alonso. However, Alonso is not giving easy time. He gets a DRS zone this time around. Alonso comes side by side. Will he be able to maintain? Yes, he does. Fernando Alonso overtakes Felipe Massa. It'll be interesting now because Felipe Massa is going to get the second DRS zone. Will he be able to do it? Williams, definitely a strong Mercedes engine. Let's see as he comes closer to Fernando Alonso. Very close to Fernando Alonso. No, he's not able to do it. So Fernando Alonso manages to keep his car in front of Felipe Massa. Lap number 24, Lewis Hamilton in lead. He has still not made his pit stop with 19.6 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas. You need about 23 seconds to come out from the pits, so he still needs to gain about 4 seconds, which looks difficult, but if in case of any safety car, then definitely Lewis Hamilton will gain the position from Valtteri Bottas. We are in lap 24. Vettel in 3rd position, Raikkonen 4th, Verstappen 5th, Ocon 6th, 7th Carlos Sainz, 8th Nico Hülkenberg, Sergio Perez 9th, 10th Roman Grosjean. Fernando Alonso, after overtaking Massa, in 11th position. Hamilton finally pits. Good stop. Where does he come out in terms of Valtteri Bottas? So same gap, 1.8 seconds compared to Valtteri Bottas, who again regains the lead in Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Ocon, Sainz and Roman Grosjean are still to pit. This is effectively a one-stop race, this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Vettel in 3rd place, comfortable. 10 seconds gap between Mercedes and Ferrari. Verstappen is in a lone Red Bull in 5th position. Then there is a bit of distance, 14-second gap between Verstappen and Ocon for 6th position. Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg in 7th and 8th position. Remember, Sainz is still to make his pit stop. Alonso is in 11th position. But again, Grosjean also has to make a pit stop. Also Ocon. So Ocon, Sainz and Grosjean, all three have to make their pit stops. Only the one driver who is out of the race is Daniel Ricciardo. Lewis Hamilton having 62 race wins, only the second driver after Michael Schumacher, who has 91 race wins in his Formula 1 career. Bottas clear by 1 second from Lewis Hamilton. It seems to be we are going to see some battle between these Mercedes in front, as Lewis Hamilton is gaining time and he hits the fastest lap of the race on his super soft tires, 1 minute 41.734 seconds. Hamilton is faster in sector 1 and sector 2. Bottas is faster in sector 3. As Lewis Hamilton now lines up his car behind Valtteri Bottas, ever closer. It will be interesting as Carlos Sainz is just about 21.4 seconds gap, and whenever he pits, it's going to be very close for Fernando Alonso when Sainz comes out of the pits. So Alonso is being warned of this condition by his team, as Lewis Hamilton gets ready to give hard time to his teammate, the leader of this race, Valtteri Bottas. It will be a test of true character for Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton here, as last year we saw battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton heated up so much. They sacrificed so many Grand Prix by hitting each other in the race. Hartley comes for a regular pit stop. As we go to lap 27, Bottas leads Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And this time around, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas coming alongside. As they were getting caught in the traffic, Lewis Hamilton feels there is a chance now to overtake Valtteri Bottas. We are going to see definitely a great battle here as they traverse through the traffic. Some great battle is lining up for us, because Bottas will not like to give this position in this race where he wanted to win this Grand Prix here and show the team, yes, he has a mettle to be staying in Mercedes, who has extended his contract for 1 year for 2018. Lewis Hamilton, this time around, again he lines up his car. 7/10 of the second. This is what is the gap between two Mercedes, with distant third and fourth position for Ferraris, who are definitely slower on this track. 10-second gap between Ferraris and Mercedes. Verstappen fighting a lone battle in his Red Bull as Daniel Ricciardo was retired 7th time in this season. He's having a gap of 1 second between Raikkonen Ferrari and Red Bull. As the interesting battle between Lewis Hamilton and Bottas is gearing up, as they come behind now Stoffel Vandoorne to lap Stoffel Vandoorne car down. I'm sure that race engineers must be on the team, must be on the radio and guiding both the drivers of Mercedes to ensure not getting in contact with each other. And Lewis Hamilton finds himself just next to the gearbox of Valtteri Bottas in lap number 30. What a battle we are going to see now for the last race of 2017. As they come across the back markers, very close, Lewis Hamilton right at the tail of Valtteri Bottas. Finn is not going to give this position so easily. Battle for survival, battle of the best. No pressures whatsoever of the championship. No team orders will be followed for sure. as Lewis Hamilton makes a lockup. He goes out of the track, comes back on the track, no harm done, but loses bit of time. 0.3 of a second lost by Lewis Hamilton by making this error. As we see Toto having a smile on his face, must be wondering what to guide to these drivers. Oh, bit of lockup from Lewis Hamilton here. Hamilton is trying as hard as possible to get past Valtteri Bottas' teammate. He has to get all his energy gathered once again and get ready for the next lap. As Max Verstappen here, also just about a second behind Ferrari of Kimi Räikkönen. So this battle is also very interesting. If something happens between these top 5 cars, anything could change. He could also be eyeing for the podium spot here. Max Verstappen. Behind Verstappen, Esteban Ocon in 6th position, way down. Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg, both the Force Indias, both the Renaults are behind them. Sergio Perez in 9th position, 10th Roman Grosjean, Alonso in 11th position. Remember, Grosjean, Ocon and Sainz still have to make their pit stops. Hamilton, courtesy his lockup which happened, finds himself out of the DRS zone. As we go to lap 31, Bottas leads Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with 1.5 second gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. Vettel distant third with 14 second gap. Another 10 second gap between Vettel and Raikkonen, and then comes the Verstappen, just about a second gap between him and Raikkonen for 5th position. Esteban Ocon Force India 6th position, distant 6th. 7th Carlos Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg 8th, 9th Sergio Perez, Roman Grosjean 10th, Alonso in 11th position. Massa 12th, Vando, Magnussen, Verlaine, Hartley, Gasly, Stroll, Ericsson 19th position. And there is a spin for Renault, and this seems to be Carlos Sainz. He has a problem. And there is a problem with Carlos Sainz's car. So we'll see what happened to Carlos Sainz. The pit stop, clean pit stop. Looks like he was out of the wheel. His front left wheel was not fitted properly. They are definitely going to have penalty for this. This is dangerous for the car to come out of the track with a loose wheel. Race over for Carlos Sainz, courtesy his poor pit stop carried out by his team. Rare error by Renault. Carlos Sainz finds himself out. He was on target for points here and he finds himself out of the race. As Grosjean also just made his pit stop. Yellow flags in sector 2, and in the meantime Verstappen also catching up with Kimi Räikkönen here. Grosjean comes out of the pits behind Alonso and Massa. Alonso finds himself in 9th position now. Ferraris are way back from Mercedes. In the meantime, Hamilton putting another faster lap. 1.3 second gap now between him and Valtteri Bottas' teammate, as Carlos Sainz bows out of Abu Dhabi Grand Prix courtesy pit error, where front left tire was not fitted properly and he has to retire the car. So definitely McLaren is in the points now. As Valtteri Bottas still maintaining his lead over Lewis Hamilton, who made an error a few laps back. That was a golden chance for Lewis Hamilton to overtake his teammate, but he messed it up by locking his wheels, and now he finds himself 1.5 second gap behind him. However, battle of Mercedes only within themselves, as Ferraris are distant behind with a 16 second gap. Verstappen, though, he's just about 1 second gap between him and Kimi Räikkönen. Nico Hülkenberg is in 6th position. Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon 7th and 8th for Force India. Fernando Alonso in 9th position. Massa in 10th position. Grosjean, Van Dam, Magnussen, Verlaine, Hartley and Gasly, Ericsson and Stroll completing the other cars on the grid. as Hamilton gains this time around 700 of second in this lap. He's inching closer to Valtteri Bottas, his teammate. Lap 37 completes and Bottas leading with Lewis Hamilton 1.4 second gap, Vettel in third, 19 second gap, Raikkonen 4th, Verstappen 5th, Hulkenberg 6th, Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon, Force India's 7th and 8th position, 9th Fernando Alonso in McLaren, strong outing for McLaren, and Felipe Massa in 10th position completes the top 10. As Stoffel Van Dorn gets lapped by the leader. The gap between Bottas and Hamilton comes down to 1.3 seconds now. As Max Verstappen also lines up now for an attack on Kimi Raikkonen. Verstappen trying to catch the opportunity which is coming as Raikkonen and Verstappen come through the traffic. Verstappen is about 1.7 seconds behind Kimi Raikkonen. as the gap between Bottas and Hamilton comes down to 1.1 second. We are on lap 40 of 55, and this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix looks to be turning out to be a thriller as battle between Bottas and Hamilton and Raikkonen and Verstappen is getting heated up. As Kimi Raikkonen safely overtakes Marcus Ericsson also. Verstappen is trying to get an advantage when he is lapping the car, and he does this time around with Haas car. Laps down them. As a bit of battle going on between Marcus Ericsson, Gasly and Hartley, where Brendan Hartley overtakes Gasly. Kevin Magnussen, Pascal Wehrlein and Brendan Hartley are in battle for 13th position. As we go to lap number 42, gap between Bottas and Hamilton is easing a bit, 1.5 seconds. Pascal Wehrlein in his Sauber is just 0.7 of a second behind Magnussen, and Hartley behind him 0.9 of a second down. Raikkonen and Vettel, Raikkonen and Verstappen, the gap has been eased up to 2.9 seconds now. As the lap 44 comes to an end, Bottas leads with 1.4 second gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. Vettel and Raikkonen are distant 20 seconds down from the Mercedes. So there's a battle is in between the Mercedes teammates, Bottas and Hamilton. Ferrari, Vettel is well clear. There is about 15 second gap from him to Kimi Raikkonen. Verstappen, about 2 second gap between him and Raikkonen. Then Nico Hülkenberg, almost half a minute down from Verstappen time. Sergio Perez in 7th position, Esteban Ocon in 8th, Alonso 9th, Felipe Massa completing the top 10. So as we go to the last 10 laps of this race, Hamilton still doesn't find a way past Bottas, 1.2 seconds gap. Verstappen, 2.3 second gap between him and Raikkonen. Verstappen, 5th position, Nico Hülkenberg in 6th, 7th, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon in 8th, Fernando Alonso in 9th. Massa in the last point scoring position, 10. Bit of battle going on between Haas and the Saubers. as the gap remains almost same between Bottas and Hamilton of 1.2 seconds. The last race for Valtteri Bottas in this season, who he wants to complete this on a high. Lewis Hamilton, battle of pride between him and his teammate, would like to snatch this position from Bottas. As we are coming to the last closing laps of this race, 8 laps to go. One point 1.7 second gap between Verstappen and Raikkonen. The rest pretty steady field. Bottas first, Hamilton second, Vettel third, Raikkonen fourth, Verstappen in 5th position, Nico Hülkenberg 6th, Sergio Perez 7th, Esteban Ocon 8th, Alonso 9th, Felipe Massa completes the last position, point scoring position. As Lewis Hamilton gets his charge back on Valtteri Bottas. Can Valtteri Bottas hold off Lewis Hamilton, the 4-time world champion, or he loses the position? As this time around, Lewis Hamilton and Bottas gets ever closer. Suddenly, Lewis Hamilton finds some speed over there and he gets behind the tail of his teammate Valtteri Bottas. As they get the next person on the grid to be lapped down is Fernando Alonso in 9th position, and Lewis Hamilton sees this as an opportunity. He's going to line up all the resources and energy for this position, but Alonso gives very easily, gives the position or allows both the leaders to overtake him, which is a disadvantage for Lewis Hamilton, as he was expecting there's some battle or loss of time will happen for Valtteri Bottas, which did not happen. So it's just about 1 second gap now between Bottas and Hamilton here. And the same gap is between Raikkonen and Verstappen in 4th and 5th position. We are in lap 50 or 55 of this race. final 5 laps, exciting 5 laps and culmination of 2017 Formula 1 season. This is Autocars India bringing you live commentary from Abu Dhabi. Positions: Bottas leads, Hamilton second, Vettel third, Raikkonen fourth, Verstappen fifth, sixth Nico Hülkenberg, seventh Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon eighth, Fernando Alonso ninth, and Felipe Massa completes the last scoring position 10th. So Vettel will remain runner-up for driver championship if they finish in this position, that is Bottas on lead and Sebastian Vettel can finish third. As we go to the last 4 laps of the race, it's heating up for the victory in Yas Marina circuit as Sebastian Vettel hits the fastest lap of the race, 1:41.244. Lewis Hamilton probably has made a mistake somewhere in the last lap and he is 1.5 seconds down once again. It'll be a great character from Valtteri Bottas if he can hold on to victory as Lewis Hamilton is being behind him within 1 second or 1.5 second gap right from the word go on this Grand Prix. As the lap 52 starts, positions more or less remain same with Bottas leading, Hamilton following him in second position, Vettel in third, Raikkonen Ferrari in fourth, Max Verstappen Red Bull fifth, Nico Hülkenberg Renault sixth, Perez and Ocon for Force India 7th and 8th, Alonso in 9th position, Felipe Massa in 10th position. Daniel Ricciardo down and out. Carlos Sainz is also out. Verstappen and Kimi Raikkonen, still the gap is about 2 seconds. Verstappen is not able to close this gap and it's lap number 52. So seems to be positions up more or less settled as Valtteri Bottas comfortably keeps the gap to 2.9 seconds now. Force India has been very good this time in this season. They are comfortably the best fourth car on the grid. Perez and Ocon both are being consistent with their performances all the year around. As Verstappen tries to reduce the gap between him and Raikkonen, which is 1.6 seconds. Time looks to be short for any more charging for Max Verstappen, but who knows? Max Verstappen is a guy who does some lightning quick speeds on the circuit with sheer brilliance of him. Let's see how much he can close the gap between him and Kimi Raikkonen. With 2 laps remaining, Bottas confirms his lead as 1.5 seconds to Lewis Hamilton, comfortably ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and looks to set as the winner of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here as they go around with penultimate lap on this circuit. And he has increased the gap to almost 4 seconds now. Verstappen, 1.5 second gap between him and Kimi Raikkonen for 4th position. A strong finish for McLaren, Fernando Alonso, though Stoffel Van Dorn is in distant 12th position. Kimi Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, gap is about 1.5 seconds. As we come to the last lap of the race, as Valtteri Bottas starts his final lap, controlling the race, and he is comfortably ahead with the gap has already pulled to 5 seconds now to record the victory in Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, last Grand Prix of the season. And this is a bit of comeback for Valtteri Bottas and silencing his critics. He has really shown a great character, Valtteri Bottas, in coming back to this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Pole position yesterday was crucial for Valtteri Bottas, and he has converted this to a win. As he comes around the last few corners of this race, Valtteri Bottas comes through for the Yas Marina circuit last. And what a season for Valtteri Bottas this has been, as he comes around and wins Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Third win of 2017. Lewis Hamilton comes home second. Celebrations all around. Sebastian Vettel, strong third position here. This is the best position what Ferrari could achieve, and they have achieved that, as they were nowhere closer to Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas makes a donut, comes back on the track, celebrates his win, third win of the season. And Valtteri Bottas also gets the fastest lap of the race. And there, time to celebrate. For Lewis Hamilton, he can freely make some donuts. That's the last race of the season. He can rev up his engine. Looks like Lewis Hamilton has some problem. And Felipe Massa also celebrates, makes the donut on the track. Last race for his Formula 1 career. Thanks to his family, the team, his engineers, for such a great career for Felipe Massa. Bids goodbye to Formula 1. Felipe Massa, what an ending to this 2017 Formula 1 season. And Felipe Massa scores points on his last Grand Prix. Finally taken the 6th place with strong finish from Nico Hülkenberg. That will gain a $6 to $7 million for Renault. Whole weekend has been so crucial for all the teams here, especially Haas, Renault and Williams, where Haas, Williams and Toro Rosso, where Renault wins the battle, brings home the point with 6th position for Nico Hülkenberg and gets ahead of Toro Rosso and Haas. With this, we'll come close to the season of 2017 Formula 1. This is Autocars India, your host Naresh. Will keep bringing you live action during the winter testing season and 2018 season. Goodbye.